Thank you very much. Welcome. It's a great pleasure for us being here, and we're really excited to take you through the major milestones and the major success factors of what made planetmondi our successful, collaborative, employee-engaging intranet. My name is Alexander. I'm heading the web applications and HR department the HR department from within information management, which is our global IT organization. And I was the project manager on the requirements analysis implementation project for planetmondi. And that platform is operated by my team. We also have Jakob here, who could then answer more technical questions. Let's put it like this. Katharina, please.
And my name is Katharina. I'm an internal communication manager, and I am a part of the Mondi group communication and marketing team, and I'm responsible for planetmondi more from a content perspective. And we are really excited to present planetmondi today to you, and we also have included a live demo, so you can have a look yourself and see how our internet is built. But before we start, let's share some facts about Mondi, our company. Mondi is an international packaging and paper company, and we employ more than 26,000 people in more than 30 locations. And most of you probably know us for our copy papers. But actually, true to our slogan, in touch every day, you are in touch with our products every day, and this is much more than copy paper. It's, for example, the bag of potato crisp that you eat in the evening, or if you are a dog lover, the dog food bag is a Mondi product. And there's so much more, and we would like to present that to you in this video.
Every day has 24 hours, 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds. For Mondi, that's 86,400 opportunities to touch the lives of millions. Every day, we create brilliant packaging and paper solutions that help our customers succeed and help their customers live their lives. Films and hygiene components to help new arrivals take their very first steps in life. Sheets of paper for life's important messages. Craft paper that can carry more than 100 times its own weight. Extrusion-coated material to keep things fresh and full of flavor. Reclosable bags that help pets everywhere love their owners even more. Container board that makes packaging light and strong. And corrugated boxes that ensure important goods arrive safely. Release liners that make sure things stick where they should. Industrial bags that carry the very foundations of our homes. But our success isn't just built on our great products. When we think about today, we never forget tomorrow. We're reliable. Every day, we keep the promises we make. We're innovators, creators, pioneers, listeners. We love to find smarter ways to help our customers do it better. We're passionate about performance, making it work efficiently, effectively, profitably. It's in our DNA. We act locally at around 100 sites worldwide. We employ around 25,000 people and depend on their skills and dedication. We want to be a place where everyone can grow, careers can be made, and opportunities unfold. We are Mondi. In touch every day.
So Such an international organization, of course, also needs a really good platform for communication and collaboration. But planetmondi is not just a good platform, it has become a success story. And with our presentation, we would like to explain to you why it has become a success story, taking 5 success factors into regard. So we started having a cross-departmental collaboration within the core project team. And also we involved our employees in a timely manner. Eventually, we created a strong tool for communication and collaboration, and then we had a very sophisticated change management. And today we have a clear strategy and outlook for our platform.
Good. Well, then let me start with cross-department collaboration. It has been mentioned before, I think it was Brian who said, get your heads out of your server rooms and dive into the business needs, right? And I think that's something that we actually did in a very good way when it comes to the planetmondi, from requirements analysis, going over through implementation, also now in operations. That core team was led, so there was a two-headed project management that consisted of one project manager from IT side and one from communications marketing team. And we were supporting the core team with people from human resources, communications that took care for the change management, and of course from our infrastructure team, we're running Liferay, of course, on premises still, right? Might change, you never know. Throughout all the steps of the project, we reported to a steering committee that was built out of heads of group functions and business functions, and those people not only supported us in making decisions and making sure we have, the budget allocated that we needed, they were also acting as drivers of that digital transformation, basically, that planetmondi meant within the organization. So a lot of support also from top management with regards to the project. But of course, it's not only the people or the functions up here that helped to create the requirements of planetmondi. Katharina, there was a lot more.
Exactly. We, from the very beginning, involved a lot of employees from our organization in a very timely manner. And we did that to define together the requirements for our intranet. So we asked people from different hierarchical levels, from different locations like Europe, Turkey, Russia, North America. And we conducted interviews, we held workshops, we had a comprehensive online survey. And having all of that data, we were able to define the requirements for planetmondi, and that's way we had a really good basis to choose a provider and a platform, a solution. So Alex, could you explain maybe in detail how this decision process went?
I can. So a strong tool for collaboration. I think a lot of engagement was within creating those requirements. Now we were asked to find the right tool, and I'm not going into every detail here. What you see is we try to have that process, the tender process, as open as possible, and look at various platforms. We came from a SharePoint-based intranet that was very much document-driven and static contents, and we wanted to open up. We wanted to see something completely different. So let me elaborate a little bit on the partners and on the decision criteria at the end, the decision we made. How did we choose the partners? It was mainly 3 factors that helped us to invite the right people or the right platforms to the process. First of all, a strong record with Gartner. That's always important to us as an IT organization, right? They need to be somewhere in magic quadrants. Secondly, enterprise level support. So we're not looking at solutions where you do a lot yourself. We need the platform or the partner to offer enterprise level support. We need to outsource that. And thirdly, when it comes to subscription licensing, we didn't want to be afraid of our success, right? We have 26,000 employees. We wanted to make sure they all can access the platform without having to pay like 3 times the money for a subscription every year than as if just like 5,000 would have used the platform. So those were the 3 criteria, and the platforms we chose or we invited was Jive. That's a cloud-based communication and collaboration platform. Of course, Liferay, implemented by Prodyna. Prodyna was the company that actually offered Liferay as a platform. IBM Connections, more collaboration-focused platform by IBM. And then the 2 Drupals, at that time when it was 2015, Drupal version 7 being on the market and 8 about to launch. And, well, all of those went through. Well, of course, the tender process, all the regular things. And what we did is we built kind of a decision matrix within those 6 dimensions, a lot of criteria behind that. And via pairwise comparison, we could identify then what was the best fit for us. Marketing, communications, from an HR perspective, and of course from an IT perspective. Yeah, and it's no secret that it has been Liferay. That was the platform that was chosen together with Prodyna as the partner that was implementing that platform. Why did we choose Liferay? Just some notes on that. It's a horizontal portal. We were looking at something that's quite flexible, where we could actually build something on top that would allow just communication, collaboration, and also potentially the application use cases to run on that platform. It offers enterprise-level support, and yet is an open source solution. That was something that our infrastructure team found quite interesting, let's put it like this. Of course, what's the best platform if you don't have a partner that can actually deliver that successful or realize that potential that the platform has and that we saw in that platform? We had a lot of confidence and trust in our partner, and that also was one of the main criteria why we chose Liferay as a platform. And should the day come when we're not so satisfied anymore with our partner, there are other partners available. So also there's an ecosystem of partners on the market being able to deliver Liferay as a platform. That's the pros. The cons, might be a little bit misleading, right? When you look at the Gartner quadrants, there is the horizontal portal where Liferay is on top. But, we were looking at document management quadrants, well, some other leaders. Social in the workplace, other leaders, and so on. What does that mean for us, or why is it important? Because it meant we can build what we need. It's not there out of the box. And of course, that always comes with some thoughts. What does it mean in maintenance? What about upgradability and everything around that? But yeah, in the end, of course, the pros outweighed the cons. And in 2015, we didn't know too much about what is the roadmap. When is version 7 going to be there? When are we able to go to version 7? What is the architecture? Is there going to be a lot of changes? That was a little bit unclear at the time. Well, and then just going to the next slide means, the implementation project was in between, and by now 2 years of experience with our intranet. Why we like Liferay a lot is because of its strong content management system. So there is, for example, the news concept. You're going to see that afterwards. That's quite flexible, right? We want a user to see global contents from their departments, their locations from departments or channel they subscribe to. That was quite easy with Liferay, of course. As you've seen, we're a global company, so we have a lot of languages in the company. Multilingual content, no problem, right? It's there. I mean, that's something that works out of the box. Creative designs of department sites. We have a lot of department pages out there, department sites. We provide them with a template, the key users, but they can play around with it. They can, customize it to their needs rather easily. So that's also something that's really highly appreciated. Out-of-the-box functionalities that work for several use cases, of course. I mean, my favorite still is the asset publisher, right? Put it here. What type of content? News, okay? In which pages or sites should I look for that? Here and there. Any filtering, what department, what channel should it be? And ultimately, how do you want that to be presented? And you get your news stream, for example, that you're going to see afterwards. So that's one thing that really works quite well for us. Also, the wiki that comes, it's solid, it's fine. And we found that we have different use cases that really work well using that wiki functionality. Next thing, the concept of open and private sites. We have public sites, so to say, available to all users, and we have collaboration groups that have restricted visibility, or where you need to apply to be invited, etc. So that's working quite fine. And we have a marketplace out there. We're just making use of the WYSIWYG, the what you see is what you get portlet. And there is a survey portlet we're using. But it always gives you an idea of what is available, what can you do, you know. It makes sense to have that. Of course, there are some cons, especially when we launched, right? We came from SharePoint. That was really document-centric, and that allows some degree of flexibility when it comes to adding metadata to document libraries, different views and everything. That is not available, more or less, on Liferay. And that required some change management and getting used to it for our users and key users when we introduced that platform. So that was the feature that they missed the most potentially. Also from document management, permission inheritance. I mean, we have had, I'm quite happy, I have to say, that we've gone away from that, right? We've had document libraries that were huge and that allowed quite some flexibility with, down here you add an editor, and up here you add a reader, and it all magically is inherited in SharePoint. But of course it's chaotic at the end of the day, right? You don't have that flexibility, but it's easier to maintain with Liferay, I have to say. But for users, it was of course a change. With the second pain point, that was when we went live. I mean, there's no issue anymore because we have highly dynamic pages, or the content is highly dynamic. We, of course, talk a lot to the server, right? And say, well, what content should I display now for that user on that page? That required some investigation together with our partner, Prodyna. We had an external architect in there, and ultimately, Liferay delivered a fix, and the issue was gone. So there was something in the querying of contents. But it took some time. That's why it's up here. Good. Katharina, you're going to elaborate on the change management part.
Well, in order to launch a platform like planetmondi successfully, you need a really good training, but also communication concept. When it comes to the training concept, we focused much on our intranet champions. So these are employees per department that were nominated and that were responsible to create their department sites, but also to maintain them. And then we have another about 200 key users that don't have so many permissions, but they can go to their champion and ask for advice and so on. And yeah, we provide training throughout the year several times. But when it comes to that internet champions, I think that was a key moment when we established planetmondi, because we invested a lot of time and effort into them. We had a lot of get-togethers. We offered them various materials. We had a two-day special training for them. We created, in collaboration together, the department sites, and also offered individual coaching sessions. And that way, we made those internet champions planetmondi experts and eventually multipliers within our organization. And when you click.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. To kick off the communication around planetmondi, half a year before the launch, we conducted a name survey. It was a really subtle way to raise awareness that there will be a new intranet. And so our employees themselves chose the name, and it has really become a brand. And no one is talking, I think, today about the intranet. Everyone is talking about planetmondi. 4 weeks before the start, we launched a multi-level communication campaign in 7 languages that included a video, stickers, posters, and a countdown on our old platform. This all was to explain the functionality, to arouse excitement, but also to limit the expectations.
That's it?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Sorry.
I didn't fall asleep here. So, okay. Yeah? Okay. Well, it's still you, right?
So,
yeah.
Well, now 2 years have passed by, so we celebrated planetmondi's 2nd birthday this year, and of course we didn't stop our communication around planetmondi. We continuously promote the functionality, and we put much focus on the development. So what we did this year was to develop an iOS app for our employees, so whenever and wherever they want to read a planetmondi story, now they can with their iPhone or their iPad. And also we did a lot of improvements in the back end for our champions and their planetmondi stories to be much more successful. And I'm talking a lot about why planetmondi is such a success story, and I think I owe you a few examples why we think that is. So in comparison to last year, we have already had a raise of 25% in increased user numbers. And compared to the old intranet that we have an increase of 230%. That is when it comes internal within our organization. But when we have also been recognized externally already. We have won 2 awards, one for the user experience and one for planetmondi's innovative and attractive design.
Yeah.
So now that we have that wonderful platform, we want to expand it within our organization because like a lot of manufacturing companies, as you can imagine, a lot of locations have their own solutions still. And our goal is to get all of our locations onto planetmondi by the end of next year. Therefore, we also need to work on our content. We strive to make it more interesting for as many employees as possible from different hierarchical levels. We also going to continue promoting its many features. But a very important point is also the migration to Liferay DXP. Alex, would you like to tell us more about that?
That's what we're going to do next year and what's going to keep us busy next year. I mean, we're doing a technical migration to DXP together with ProDyner again. What we've learned is that there are some architectural changes in the platform that require quite some changes in the way we've done the customizations, but we're ready to do that. That's fine. We're expecting some trade-off, of course, right, in a positive way, meaning a layered architecture would allow to reduce the efforts to deploy hot fixes, for example. Right? That's always something that's a little tricky currently. We expect that to improve. That's the IT side. On the key user side, yes, I mean, you might be aware of what DXP does. Right? Inline editing, for example, might be something that I'm quite sure that they will actually like. Right? So that's a clear win. From the end user perspective, yeah, we want to stay with that familiar experience that they're currently having. So not a lot of changes, just solid performance. So that's one thing we will have an eye on. Of course, going to DXP, is the performance the same? Are we stable enough actually to roll out that to the organization? That's it. But I think, yeah, we've talked a lot, right?
Yes,
it's time to just switch over to the intranet. Can I have my screen, please? So what we're going to do is just, some of the pages that we have that seem to be important. That's the start page. When you look at the start page, it actually also looks at you, basically at the user that's in front of it. That's my user that's currently logged into it. And as I said before, news, that's something that's highly individual, right? What do I see? There are some top news here. They're coming from communication and marketing department. But I have also like a letter of a CEO that might just be available for the department that I'm working in. Or if I was in St. Petersburg, I mean, I did a lot of subscriptions, basically, so mine is not the best example. I work in St. Petersburg. I see the St. Petersburg news. And, of course, I did subscribe the extrusion coatings HR news, because that's one of my interests. I will also see that in my news update stream. So that's something that's highly individual. And, yeah, also something that people really like, right? We see that a lot more content is actually created than it was before. So people like to actually talk about what they're doing. And others, of course, like to read that. And I think that's really, really a huge improvement, also from an HR perspective and from employer branding perspective internally, and of course from a communication perspective to what we've had before. Where else do I have something that's individual? Highlights is something like that's a more visual-based, quick link thing, right? That's running here. Some other initiatives that we're promoting. Safety at work. I mean, we're in the industry, so safety is something that's of really high importance. We do have KPIs. Of course, we have a goal that says 0 harm, no lost time injuries. That's the one that we're counting here. Makes us aware of that are still too many things that are happening in the company, and we need to improve. The share price, of course, we are dual listed here in London at the stock exchange and in Johannesburg. Always good to know where you are, right? Notification, also something that's individual. The collaboration groups that I'm a member of, whatever happens in there, I will get a notification around here. Yeah, and then what those more or less standard things that just have some styling options applied, I would say, right? Link portlets, etc. That's basically it from the start page. When we look at the header, of course, the Mondi logo needs to be there. The location that I'm working in, I can go to other locations just by clicking on here with some information about that. Our main navigation, that's available on every page. Yeah, there are just some mega menus behind that. That's where the business is, group functions, organizational things, and some highlights that we promote in here. I think that is working quite well. Your toolbox where, you know, you go to time registration, some location-specific things. Also, there we build in a lot of logic that allows to really have that template, roll it out to a location, and have people create their local intranets really within the PlanetMondi. What else? That's the sidebar. Yeah, you can individualize that, just add your links, or you get what's your local intranet, the collaboration overview, or the organizational browser. That's where you can directly go to from here. Okay. Katharina?
Yeah. Also really important for an intranet, as you can imagine, is the user profile. So let's imagine, you know, I hear a name and I haven't ever seen that person. Of course, I go onto PlanetMondi and PlanetMondi that person, and then I'm going to see a picture to that name and all the information that a person wants to provide. So it's where I'm located, which languages I speak, in which level. It's also important, do I call that person and do I have to speak English or German? I can even provide my education details. Then really important, and I'm going to come to that in a second, are in which collaboration groups I am, and also what can you do, like with which question you can approach me, like what can I answer to, for example, with PlanetMondi, obviously, or videos, and so on. And you can also see who I'm reporting to. And another interesting thing that we offer is the organizational browser. So here you see, again, who I'm reporting to, but also who's a member of my team, which is also interesting for a lot of people. And then eventually we have our collaboration group. So let me take one example, which is really nice for people that are just started at Mondi, and they have a question about different things, as you can see here. So you can go into a discussion and ask something. You can create discussions new, like if you have a new topic. This is called Mondi Echo. And then also, of course, we had a collaboration, or have a collaboration group for our champions, where they can also exchange, like where are the training materials? You know, do you have some icons I can use to make my department page look better? So yeah, that's all of those features that we wanted to share with you.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
well, thank you for listening to us. Thank you for your attention.
We're happy to take your questions if there is time left. I didn't pay attention. 2 minutes. Okay.
We have 2 minutes. So
okay, if
there has questions.
Yeah.
But maybe we can give them a round of applause first for their presentation.
Thank you very much.